from the Hussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Erin Matson proved that she can win NCAA titles not only as a player but also as a coach. Good morning and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Lee Jeffries.
And I'm Bella Geskos. Thanks for joining us, but hold on a second. I gotta add something to the outfit. Oh, this is last year's. I kind of need a new one now. But UNC field hockey went all out and went all the way to a shootout to win the national championship last night. Let's see how they got there. But let's start from the beginning. On Friday, the top-seeded field hockey team made their 27th appearance in the Final Four against Virginia, looking to punch their ticket to the national championship game. The Heels defense stumbled out of the gate, giving the Cavaliers 2 penalty corners that they were unable to capitalize on. After Carolina found their rhythm, they went up 1-0 off this nifty slip pass from Katie Dixon that perfectly freed up Riley Heck. In the second quarter, the Heels added some insurance when Sietska Bruning put this penalty corner in the back of the cage for her second goal of the season. Carolina's defense continued to suffocate Virginia's attack, clearing the way for a 2-0 victory and a spot in the title game.
Everyone in that defensive unit stepped up when they needed to. Whether it was me, the fly, or our trails, or Maddie, or a post player, everyone stepped up in those moments.
The goal started from the defense to attack, and I think it was a team goal, and I just happened to be able to finish it. So, just good feeling to have it on the back of the net.
Proud of them. I'm very excited. I'm excited about how they played today, and I know we'll carry that into Sunday. But at the same time, yes, we are definitely unsatisfied. There's still business to take care of.
And that unfinished business was the final against number 2 seed Northwestern, who the Heels were looking to send home empty-handed for the second straight year in the championship. In front of a sellout, standing room only crowd, the Heels were unable to get a penalty corner in the first half. The game was scoreless at the half, and in the 33rd minute, ACC Freshman of the Year Charlie Bruder fired the ball into the net off a penalty corner for her 15th goal of her freshman campaign. Later in the third, Northwestern evened up the game with a penalty stroke goal, and after a scoreless fourth quarter and 2 overtimes with saves from both goalies, the game went into shootouts. After 5 players for each team went, it was tied at 2 apiece, and in sudden death shootout, Riley Heck saved the day with an amazing shot past Northwestern's goalie to win the national championship for UNC.
I literally don't even remember spinning or scoring. I just remembered being with my teammates, just cheering, and one of the greatest feelings ever. So I couldn't be happier.
I knew it was sudden death. I was happy that I was able to go first and kind of put it on Riley's shoulder. It was her turn to end the game, so I was just like pure bliss.
I'm just purely proud that these guys get to feel it. I had my 5 years. They were phenomenal. This program, this university, Coach Shelton, she gave me everything. But now, it is my job for these guys to feel that and to know that they've worked so hard and deserved it and finally earned it and can sit here with a national championship trophy next to them. It's just peace.
I know field hockey analyst Riley Kennedy celebrated just as hard as the players last night. Here to attest to that is the national championship MVP herself, Maddie Kahn, who also happened to stop by to break down arguably one of the most dramatic games in Carolina history. Riley, Maddie?
Maddie, thanks for joining us. The most outstanding play from the NCAA tournament. Now back in August, early September, you guys may remember I said this team had the potential, right? The potential to do great things and win another yet national championship. Now, it wasn't going to be easy, but starts with returners. Now, this is your first national championship game you played in. How were the nerves?
Yeah, I was definitely nervous, but that's always a good thing. It means that you care, and that's what the coaches always say. But I think once I got settled in, everything kind of went away. I just got focused on the game, just communicating, not really paying attention to everything going on other than just the game itself. So.
Yeah, so we're going to break down a little film. So take me through your mindset when you see this ball come up, right? It's a 2-on-1. Rome's got to play it. What are you thinking when you're as the goaltender? What are you thinking? What's going through your minds? I'm going to pause it right here.
Yeah, so you could see Sietska earlier tried to step in front of 3, Olivia Bent-Cole.
I'll rewind that right here.
this was part of the game plan to kind of try to eliminate her from the game, just because, especially in an overtime situation, there's so much space just because of the lack of players. And being that she's so fast, we wanted to not allow her to receive the ball because space is definitely one of her friends. I thought Ramey made a good decision.
Ramey's right here.
Yep, that's Ramey right there. And then you can see we have 2 support runners coming back. But I thought Ramey made a good decision to apply pressure to number 3, which obviously left number 2 open.
Yeah, what are you thinking right now, right? It's double OT. If they score, they win.
Yeah, I honestly was kind of hoping that she was going to pass it just because it gives me less to worry about in a sense, because I see Ramey is closing down on this player. I could play this more as a 1v1.
Right.
And you can see I started shifting a little bit once I saw the ball going to try to close down the space, make the angle smaller, take up more of the goal cage. And you could see in her reception, she has her head down. She's not really looking up, so that was kind of my cue to go and just hope that she kept it on the ground and that it was going to hit me. So,
So then in this next one, now you kind of said, we talked right before, you said this might have been the game plan for Northwestern, but 25 seconds left, right? It's a quick restart right here, and they kind of pass the ball around. What are you telling, your defense? Do you think that they're trying to get into the circle, try to get like a corner here?
From watching film, that honestly was kind of their MO, and even during the game, they like to take quick restarts under the 25. They like to go fast to try to draw a penalty corner, but in the beginning of the play, you could see...
I'll rewind it right here.
So we have really good marking right here. Everyone's marked up. We have someone, this is Riley Heck, pressuring the ball, and then we have a cover and Yasmina Smolinars over there. So it's a 2v1. Number 17 can't really do anything with the ball besides maybe hit it in.
Right.
But obviously she has to go 5 yards. We're set, ball pressure, cover. We have Peyton over here.
Yeah, Peyton right here. She does a nice
job.
So
she's kind of just holding this space so that we can apply pressure. So you see she's holding because there's 2 girls here. Riley steps up to kind of take the line to goal.
Yeah, and then she goes over there.
And then Peyton comes over here, does a really great job in protecting her feet, just getting down, getting a stick on the ball cleanly, and kind of just denying any chance that they had. But Northwestern is known for their goalkeeping. Annabelle is a really great goalkeeper. I've played with her numerous times, so they definitely trust her a lot, and she definitely showed up this game, so there's obviously a reason why they trust her. But
talk about this. You make the game-winning save, right, in the shootout to let Riley score it. What's going through your mind? How are you playing the shootout? Just kind of break it down right here.
Yeah, so number 6, that's Peyton Halsey. She took their first shootout and scored, so I kind of had an idea that she was going to do the same thing, have her back towards me and try to spin out. That's really popular for the shootout. But it's really hard for a goalkeeper. She's pretty far out. Like, I meet her kind of high, so it would be hard for her to spin and try to get it into the goal cage. In Riley's goal, you could see that she's a lot closer to Annabelle, but I kind of just try to engage her, cut off that side to make sure that she rolls back to the other side, so I have less to worry about. So kind of getting my stick in there, just kind of denying that side so that her only option is to go that way. And she did it pretty quick. She executed it pretty well. I think I just did a good job of scrambling. I saw she was going. I knew what she was doing. So I took a little step, flipped around, and then just had the ball hit me there. So.
And then you win the national championship. So amazing. Most outstanding player, Maddie Kahn, thank you for coming into our studio. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Riley. Thanks, Maddie. What a season it has been for the nation's premier field hockey program.
After drawing against Alabama earlier in the season, the Heels look to put the women's soccer universe back into alignment, taking on Bama on Sunday in the NCAA tournament. The Heels pushed the pace early and lived in the attacking third. The Crimson Tide collapsed under the pressure in the 19th minute when Ali Sentnor streaked down the left side, firing a bullet into the far post to give Carolina a 1-0 advantage. The Heels never let up, creating chance after chance with a relentless attack that fired 9 shots on goal to Bama's 0, giving Carolina a controlling victory 1-0. On Sunday, UNC took on Texas Tech. There were no goals in the first half, but UNC was still aggressive. The Heels outshot Texas Tech 9-5 and defensively allowed no shots on goal. UNC had 7 shots on goal in the second half, and the stalemate was finally broken in the 72nd minute. Junior Bella Sember sent the ball into the right corner of the net for the goal, assisted by redshirt sophomore Ali Sentnor. Carolina held onto the lead to win 1-0 and will next face top-ranked BYU in the quarterfinals. Let's take a closer look at how the Heels beat the Red Raiders, specifically which player helped them get the win, with women's soccer analyst Caroline Daly for Soccer on the Daily. Caroline?
Lee, the Heels are moving on to the Elite Eight once again. They had 2 very physical and defensive games this weekend against Alabama and Texas Tech. The defense showed out for Carolina. In both games, they held opponents without a shot on goal the entire match. Now, who's the player who scored for the Heels to put them up 1-0 and help them survive and advance? It wasn't Ali Sentnor or Avery Patterson, it was Bella Sember. With about 19 minutes left in the game, the Heels passed the ball around inside the box a little bit, and Ali Sentnor, she's going to find a loose ball. She sends the ball to Sember at the top of the box, and she is going to shoot a rocket into the upper right corner to put them up 1-0. Sember did this about a week ago in the NCAA first-round Towson game. With a minute left in the first half, Talia Della Pruta passes the ball to Sember, and she is going to take a huge shot from 25 yards out to tie the game 1-1 in a crucial moment in the game. After seeing these 2 goals from Sember in massive playoff matchups, it's clear she isn't afraid to take risks with these shots from far out and take 1v1 battles with the goalie. The Heels face off against BYU, a familiar opponent in the tournament, Friday in Utah, and hope to advance back to the College Cup for the 5th time in the past 6 years. Lee?
Caroline, how do you think the Heels can get past the Cougars?
The 2 teams faced off in the NCAA tournament last year, and the Heels got past them. But this year, BYU is a 1 seed, so it's going to be difficult. The Heels need to continue to stay strong on defense and keep their opponents away from their attacking third to come out with a win.
It should be a great matchup. Thanks, Caroline.
In their NCAA tournament debut, the 3rd-ranked men's soccer team declawed the Tigers in the 2nd round last night, beating Memphis at Dorrance Field. In the 8th minute, UNC secured an early 1-0 advantage following a corner kick. Quincy Ehrman chipped the ball to the top of the box, finding Martine Vichian, who sent a header to the bottom of the far post for Carolina's first goal. 4 minutes into the second half, Ehrman and Vichian teamed up once more to extend the Heels' lead. Ehrman passed the ball inside the box to Vichian, and he lightly headed it around the goalie, finding the lower middle of the net. This game marked the first time this season UNC's defense did not allow a shot on goal. With their 2-0 win yesterday, the Heels advanced to the 3rd round of the NCAA tournament and will return to Dorrance Field to play 14th-ranked Hofstra on Sunday. For more about the comfortable win, let's kick it to Caroline's Corner with men's soccer analyst Caroline Routh. Caroline?
Bella, if there's one takeaway for the Heels, let it be this: confidence wins games. Trust in your teammates and your own ability goes far. I want to take a closer look at what happened before the goal. Over here, we'll see Ehrman receive the ball with his head up, right? He's going to take a slow dribble, then change his speed, and fire a shot up to 6'4" Martin Vichian for the easy header in. Now, this is great because over here we see Ehrman, right? He fully has confidence in himself to be able to get around his defender and play the ball into the air, and then he knows Vichian is going to be able to handle this. All right, let's check out the next set to see how else they were playing with confidence. Over here, we see Bercado pass it over to Riley Thomas, who's going to do some fancy footwork, play the ball into the box between 5 defenders to find Vichian for the shot on goal. It didn't go in, but again, I love to see this teamwork here. We have Thomas completely trusting that Vichian can get the ball beyond those defenders. That foot skill and that confidence on display is exactly what the Heels need. It's still the NCAAs, and anything can happen. But if the Heels continue to play with confidence and trust each other, it could be looking good for them. Bella?
Caroline, defensively, how did the Tar Heels do?
Bella, UNC had a strong showing on defense, shutting down their offense. The confidence in their 1v1s benefited the Heels on both sides of the field.
Let's see if they'll continue the momentum into Sunday's game against Hofstra. Thanks, Caroline. Lee, Now, a question for you. Who do you think is going to go farther, the men's team or the women's team?
Bella, I think both teams are doing great, but I'm going to have to go women's. They're just more reliable.
I completely agree. However, the men's team is kind of giving me a spark. They played really, really well last night. I don't know.
I mean, honestly, Bella, you can't go wrong either way, so.
You really can't. Hey, Dr. T, maybe 3 documentaries, possibly?
You know, speaking of 3 documentaries, 3 of UNC's most recent national championships comes from the UNC women's ultimate frisbee team, Pleiades. Bethany Pryor has the story.
UNC is known for national championships, but one of the Tar Heels' most successful teams isn't a Division I sport. UNC women's ultimate frisbee team, UNC Pleiades, has won the past 3 national championships.
So happy and so joyous, and we felt so many different emotions. Like Katie and I were talking, like we cried probably 3 separate times during that game.
Martha Plain and Katie Friedenberg made the team in 2022 as rookies. They had never played a day in their lives, but by the end of the season, they had the opportunity to compete and win a national championship.
Being a rookie is a little scary. Like, you're the youngest person on a team. You don't ever really know what's happening. Everything is a new experience. You get to learn a sport at such a high curve because you're learning from the best people in the country.
In September of that year, I had never thought about Frisbee or really knew what Ultimate Frisbee was. And then in May of that year, I was getting playing time in the national championship.
Pleiades is successful not only because of their players' talent, but also because of their love for the sport and for each other.
I just love these people, and I know these people love me. So, it's everything to me.
It's really fun to be teammates on the field and friends off the field.
Pleiades is looking forward to the next game and also hoping to win another national championship in the spring. I'm Bethany Pryor reporting.
UNC Pleiades has an exciting season ahead. Can't wait to follow along and watch them fight for another natty. Heels football looked to avenge the men's soccer team's loss in the conference title game in an intense matchup against the Clemson Tigers on Saturday. Drake May opened the scoring with a 33-yard strike to J.J. Jones, giving the Heels a 7-0 lead. The momentum shifted after Omarion Hampton's second fumble of the game, and Clemson capitalized off the turnover, cruising to a 14-7 lead just before halftime. After another Clemson touchdown, Hampton broke 2 huge tackles on his way to the house for a 55-yard touchdown, hoping to spark some offense. Clemson responded quickly, yet Hampton grabbed his second touchdown to cut the Clemson lead to 11. The Heels couldn't finish off a comeback and ultimately fell to the Tigers 31-20.
They had 89 plays. That's too many. That's too many. And we had 69. So you got to stay on the field offensively.
Last 2 years, we've lost to state. And obviously, that's a big rivalry game. Obviously, we want to get that knife in. So it's a big game for us, and we're going to do everything we can.
For more about the disappointing loss in Death Valley, let's go to football analyst Rachel Kivlin on Routes with Rachel. Rachel, 6 straight losses against the Clemson Tigers.
Bad penalties, bad tackling, bad calls, and bad luck in Death Valley. UNC couldn't cash in on perfect opportunities and fumbled a potential 21-point early lead, allowing Clemson to seize momentum after the first quarter, not without very controversial officiating. Look, I'm not going to stand here and debate illegal touchbacks, touching, penalties, out-of-bound rules. The reality is Carolina couldn't get out of their own way with repeated false start penalties, 2 fumbles from Omarion Hampton, and not executing when it mattered. The mistakes by the Heels immediately catapulted Clemson. You're going to see a lot of misdirection with this motion across right through here. He's going to come defend against the 2 Carolina defenders, allowing for this back to come, completely distract from number 9, Jake Bringingstool running the slant route, allowing for Cade Klubnik to throw this perfect touchdown dime, and the Carolina defense just doesn't pick up on it. The spiral continued despite a solid early defense for the Heels in a trend this season and entire game they fell hard, allowing 100 or more yards on the ground in 5 straight games, at least 179 in their past 4 against Power 5 teams. This monstrosity leaves fans grasping at straws, some calling for firing Gene Chizik or Mac Brown's retirement, others blaming it on the refs, others saying it was just a matter of time before the UNC football fantasy came back to reality.
Rachel, one more regular season game left, and many Tar Heel fans have given up hope, given the perpetual downward trend they know all too well. What can Carolina do to pick up the pieces before facing the Wolfpack?
I mean, I've been talking about the defense showing up all season, but honestly, it's a matter of team discipline as a whole, and that comes from the top and doesn't happen in a week. They need to pick up their act together across offense, defense, and special teams against NC State to have a fighting chance, but looking ahead, we're looking at some serious work needed.
Thanks, Rachel.
The UNC men's basketball team faced UC Riverside on Friday night before heading to the Bahamas to face some tough competition. UNC came out looking hungry with center Armando Bacot recording 14 points and 4 rebounds in the first half. Halfway through the first half, Jalen Withers had an emphatic block against UC Riverside, which led to Seth Trimble putting defender Vladimir Salridze on a poster. That play led to an impressive steal and an and-one slam by Bacot. He secured his third 20-point game of the year so far, which included his second three-pointer of his career. Despite the Heels' poor first-half shooting performance, Harrison Ingram was 1 rebound shy of a double-double, and Jalen Washington collected 11 points, including 2 triples. UNC secured the win 77-52.
What can happen every night is playing defense, rebounding, and taking care of the basketball. And so the way that they responded in the second half defensively for the entire second half, I thought was really special.
The basketball team will be heading to the Bahamas for Thanksgiving break to face off with Northern Iowa. Now shifting to women's basketball. The women's basketball team was hoping to keep their 3-game win streak alive. Carolina defended home court versus Elon on Saturday. Carolina got off to a scorching start in the first half with Deja Kelly and Alyssa Usby scoring 11 points each. The Heels took advantage of Elon's 1-for-7 shooting in the third, with Kayla McPherson capping the quarter off with this dagger. Usby and transfer Maria Gakdeng handled business under the basket, tallying a combined 16 rebounds and contributing to Elon's 21 turnovers. Carolina took this one convincingly, 68-39.
For me, everything just starts on defense. So my activity personally, and then along with our collective 5 people on the defensive end. So that's really where I kind of get my offensive drive from, is especially when our defense is playing well together, then that always gives me confidence going down.
The Heels will take their 4-game win streak on the road for their first road matchup of the season on Friday versus Vermont.
Boredom during COVID-19 led this UNT senior into a 3-year gig with the men's basketball team. Here's her story.
When Reagan Copeland was in high school, she talked with a family friend about someday possibly working with the UNC men's basketball team. During Reagan's freshman year, they revisited the idea right as that friend, Hubert Davis, became the head coach.
Before coming to college, I was on a competitive jump roping team. That took up all my time. I was there 7 days a week and was really committed to that, and I missed being a part of a team and having something to work towards and helping people achieve a goal.
Reagan became a student manager for men's basketball during her sophomore year and now serves as the head manager for the team, only the second female head manager in the school's history. Reagan knew she was capable of stepping into this position.
Being a manager, it's all about time management and being able to balance your school life and your work life, as well as your social life. So it's definitely a big time commitment, and it's a different way to experience college.
Reagan will be graduating this spring and earning degrees in both business and sports administration. Serving as a manager for 3 years, she's seen players come and go. This time, Reagan will be the one saying goodbye to the Carolina community.
Yeah, so each team that I've worked with has been different, and obviously this year we have a whole different team, so that's been really new and exciting to have the new guys around and to have a whole new dynamic.
As the 2023-2024 men's basketball season begins, Reagan's time with the team will soon be coming to a close. But she does have this season to go, one that all Heels fans hope ends with a banner. The UNC men's cross-country team placed 6th in the NCAA championships on Saturday, their highest finish since 1985. Junior Parker Wolf was in the top 10 and ran an NCAA 10K championship school record. Graduate Alex Phillip also finished in the top 20. Seeking revenge on a team faced earlier in the season, the volleyball team took on Florida State at Carmichael Arena on Sunday. Carolina didn't waste time dominating FSU with 40 kills in the first 2 sets, boasting plenty of violent slams like this from Mabry Schaffmaster. The Heels fell behind in the 3rd and 4th, unable to break FSU's defense, which put up 19 blocks for the match, dropping Carolina 3-2.
Our kids are still really hungry to win, and we're really close to that. I don't have a problem with how we played. I think we played a really good opponent on the other side of the net, and first 2 sets were about as good a volleyball as we've played.
This loss is the 3rd reverse sweep the team has allowed in 2 weeks. Carolina will hope to rally for the finale of the 2023 season on Friday versus rival Duke.
The UNC wrestling team took a trip to Illinois to take on Central Michigan in Illinois. The Heels started out hot. Lachlan McNeil scored a technical fall, and then Carolina finished out the match with 3 wins, including Gavin Kane with a major decision. The Heels win 25-10. Against the Fighting Illini, Carolina's 125-pound redshirt sophomore Spencer Moore won by decision. Redshirt sophomore 141-pound Lachlan McNeil won by major decision, and number 11 ranked Gavin Kane and redshirt junior Max Shaw also won, but Carolina fell 20-13. Dominant defense was the theme in UNC hockey's Saturday's matchup against number 18 Maryland and Hillsborough. The scoring was highlighted by this tap-in by forward Zach Mangel. Goalkeeper Joel Hughes saw 23 shots on goal, but not one of them made it past him, leading to a 5-0 shutout for the Heels. UNC hockey returns today at 7 p.m. against NC State at PNC Arena.
Tonight we had really good puck control.
The Heels hope to maintain their puck control.
And offensively dominate NC State. We're going to be on the right track for a victory.
A monster matchup in the big arena.
A UNC athletics legend took some time to reminisce about her career as a Tar Heel and what it took to be an Olympian. Reed Miller introduces us.
Walking through the halls of Corey Natatorium, one name stands out. One image shines brighter than others. 11-time national champion and 1980 Olympian Sue Walsh.
I absolutely love swimming. I'm probably one of those few people that actually likes coming to practice, watching people pushing themselves to reach their full potential and knowing that the hard work that they're putting in now is really going to pay off later on.
Sue is an Olympian, but her Olympic story is unique. From the U.S. boycotting the Moscow Games in 1980 to heartbreakingly missing her qualification for Los Angeles 1984 by 0.01 seconds.
Thankfully, since it's been so long ago, I've gotten over the disappointment and understand that that was one of my moments of growth.
Sue Walsh is forever a Tar Heel. She continues to swim, she still attends UNC swim and dive competitions, and she keeps up with the relationships with her younger athletes that she gained through her time working with the UNC Rams Club.
And getting goosebumps just being back here for Alumni Weekend. It's just such a special place. And you hear that it's not the bell tower, it's not the old well, it's the people, and it truly is.
Sue is loved by many. She shows that no matter how old you are, no matter what you've been through, you can still enjoy the sport and support Tar Heel Blue. I'm Reed Miller reporting.
Walsh now resides in Charlotte, where she continues to swim competitively and is a constant ambassador for UNC Athletics.
We couldn't let her leave yet. Maddie Kahn, come on in here. We got to break it down, the play of the week. Maddie, thank you so much for hanging around. Because we don't have a show this Friday. The Sports Extra team picks their favorite play of the week, and this one was by you, the most outstanding player in the national championship game. Whoop. So we're gonna take us through this whole little setup right here. What do you see right now? It's kind of we don't get to pause it, but what do you see right now?
Yeah, so there's just a lot of space. Number 3 is able to get the ball. It's a 2v1 with me and Remay, and then number 2 and number 3. Number 3 takes it into space. Remay does a good job in closing down the space and forcing her to pass the ball, which she does. She passes it across the circle to number 2. I read it pretty well. I'm able to close down space quickly, slide, and she shoots it right into me, and it rebounds outside the circle, thankfully not right back to her. So
Yeah, and you see her hat, the national championship 2023. But yeah, congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it.